My name's Caleb Morales, and until 2 weeks ago, I worked warehouse security in Tucson. That was before I got laid off. My car broke down and my roommate ran off with 2 months of rent and my laptop. I needed work, any work, and a Craigslist ad practically screamed at me. Urgent, night shift attendant needed, start tonight, cash daily, no questions asked. No address, just coordinates. Weird, sure, but I didn't have the luxury of being picky. The gas station was out in the middle of nowhere, buried in a forest off some forgotten stretch of highway. When I arrived, the place was silent except for the buzzing of a busted neon sign. The windows were dark, closed, abandoned. I almost turned around, until the front door swung open by itself. Inside, the floor creaked like it was alive. A faint hum came from an old radio behind the counter, pure static. The only sign of life was a thick, red, leather-bound book sitting open next to a dusty coffee machine. Scrawled in sharp penmanship were the words, "If you're reading this, then I'm probably gone. Sorry." There wasn't time to explain. R. That's how I found the logbook, and the rules, and all. The original list, 11 rules, were still there, but below them, someone had added more in different handwriting. These were fresher, the ink still wet in some places. Rule 12. If 2 customers come in and one refuses to speak, ask the quiet one what their favorite color is. If they say blue, do not blink. Rule 13. Between 2:10 and 2:25 a.m., avoid looking at any security monitors. You won't like what watches back. Rule 14. If you hear whistling from the stockroom, whatever you do, don't answer with a whistle. Rule 15. Sometimes a man in a postal uniform will come in and ask for the parcel. Give him the empty envelope taped under the counter. No matter what he says, do not open it. I flipped the pages back, heart racing. Who the hell was R? Why would someone go through the trouble of documenting this stuff unless something hit the window? Hard. I jumped. A bird? No. A man stood just outside the door, one hand flat against the glass. Pale skin, hollow cheeks, grinning. Not smiling, grinning, like his skin had been stapled to a skull. His name tag read Ryan. He mouthed something. I looked away, heart thundering. Rule 2 came screaming back into my mind. If someone knocks after midnight, do not answer, even if they know your name. I hadn't told anyone I was working here yet, and yet he knew it. The next morning, just after sunrise, a man strolled into the store like nothing was wrong. Ernie. He looked just like the notes described. Rail-thin, mustache, crow's feet so deep you could fall into him. He poured himself a black coffee, glanced at me and said, "You made it through the first night. Not bad." "Are you Ernie?" I asked cautiously. He gave me a look. "Some nights." That answer did not make me feel better. He nodded to the logbook. "You keep the rules close?" I held it up like a Bible. He gave a grunt of approval. "You'll last longer than Ryan, maybe, or maybe not. Don't get cocky." I tried to ask him what happened to Ryan, but he just walked into the back, whistling. The second night felt worse. Colder. Heavier. At exactly 1:13 a.m., the bathroom door opened on its own. This time, something stepped out. Not a person, not even an animal. It was long, gray, crawling with twitching fingers instead of legs. Its eyes blinked sideways, 3 at a time. I dropped to the floor, hiding behind the counter, repeating the rule to myself, do not look inside. I think that's why it didn't notice me. By 1:34 a.m., it slid back into the bathroom. The door clicked shut behind it like nothing had happened. When I checked the bathroom in the daylight, it was spotless. At 2:56 a.m., the bell jingled. A man walked in wearing a postal uniform. He didn't blink, just held out his hand. The parcel. His voice was like gravel poured over bone. I reached under the counter and found the envelope taped underneath. Sealed. Heavy. It pulsed slightly, like it was breathing. He took it. Then he smiled. "You ever wonder why we're still here, Caleb?" I froze. "Didn't tell you my name," I muttered. He leaned closer. "They all know your name. You're in the book now." He left. Just after 3 a.m., I looked up at the security monitor. It was habit. I forgot Rule 13. The feed showed the parking lot, empty, except for one figure. Me. I was standing out there, just beyond the lights, facing the store, motionless. My mouth moved, but there was no sound. I watched in horror as it reached into its own chest and pulled something out. An object, too dark to see clearly. Then it smiled, the same skin-stretched smile as Ryan. I unplugged the monitor. I didn't want to know what it would have done next. After my 4th night, I started finding things that weren't there before. Symbols scratched into the backroom walls, maps taped under counters, marked with tiny red pins, a faded newspaper clipping. Multiple hikers vanish along old Route 9, no bodies recovered. Ernie caught me looking once. "That map's not for you," he said. "Then who's it for?" He didn't answer. But I swear, one of the red pins moved.
On the 5th night, she came in. Maybe 17, pale, black hair, green hoodie. She walked slowly down the candy aisle. I remembered Rule 10. Do not acknowledge the girl in the green hoodie. She isn't real. If she speaks to you, cover your ears. She turned to me, smiled sweetly, and said, "Do you want to see where Ryan went?" I slammed my hands over my ears. She screamed, high-pitched, like glass shattering in my skull. When I opened my eyes again, she was gone. But the lights were flickering, and something was waiting outside. Fast forward, and I haven't slept in days. I don't leave before sunrise. I keep to the rules. I try not to look too long at the shadows. But I've started dreaming during the day, and in every dream, Ryan is there. He looks worse each time. He says the same thing. The woods want us back. I think I'm starting to understand what he meant. Last night I confronted Ernie. "Who are you really?" I asked. He lit a cigarette, took a slow drag. "I'm the last guy who didn't leave before sunrise," he said. "That was a long time ago." "Then why stay?" He looked at me, really looked. "Because something's coming, and when it does, this place is the last stop before you meet it." He walked away, and for a moment his shadow split into 3 shapes before merging again. Liabilities. This morning I found a new entry in the logbook. Not rules, a name. Caleb Morales. Status, pending. Below it, a new rule appeared. Rule 16. When you hear your name whispered from the woods, don't answer the first time, or the second. But if they call a 3rd time, run. You've already been marked. I don't know how much longer I can do this, but I know one thing. Ryan's not gone. He's just elsewhere, and if I'm not careful, I'll join him